The three most important things that I think marketers need to focus on are probably three things that are interlinked. The first thing I think is data, but data in a very specific way. The second thing I think is content and how we deliver that to our potential consumers and customers, but then also the idea of predictive modeling and hyper-targeting. I think data's a very big word and it has a lot of connotations, but I think for marketers right now, the most important thing is to understand the right way to bring that data together. So what are the platforms, what are the optimal platforms to bring that data together on, because you're bringing in disparate parts of data into a single platform, how to visualize that data that actually makes it meaningful for the organization, and then to act against that data. And I think that probably is the most important thing for marketers to focus on. But building from that, what that means is that will allow us to build content that is both relevant and meaningful for those customers. We can't do that without that data platform. We can't do that without that visualization of data. But actually understanding the right content, bringing it to consumers in the right way, utilizing that data, I think is the second most important thing. And then the third thing, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but I think it's really important because there's some companies who are already doing this really well, but that idea of predictive modeling and hyper-targeting, you've heard people talking about personalization at scale. The reality is it's here, and that's the ability to bring first-party, second-party, third-party data together to make sure that we're actually talking to people and not to pixels, because that's really important, and understanding what their behavior is going to be even before they know it. So some of the work that Amazon are doing, some of the work that Netflix is doing, is actually build these predictive models built on that first and second and third party data. Netflix can tell you by the time you're driving home what you should be watching that evening. So the single biggest challenge facing marketers today is actually, I think, managing all these moving parts in an increasingly complex environment, and actually one that's changing almost every day. So you're managing many, many more parts. You're doing it in an increasingly complex environment, and that environment is changing at a rate of knots. So I think that's the single biggest challenge. And I think that's actually really exciting. It's exciting because that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about today, which is this idea of building collaborative teams. It's absolutely imperative. You can't do it on your own anymore. So I think for marketers, understanding that A, you've got to let go of a bit of control to manage all of this, and B, you've got to actually focus on building teams that have many different skills and bringing them together in a meaningful way for growth.